Okay, so this is a save file. I have 3 keepsakes. I'm using regular shield, no aspect or anything. We're gonna do our best to try to win. I have 3 keepsakes. I have Skelly's Lucky Tooth. It is already level 3. I have Artemis's keepsake, which could guarantee one of her boons, and I have Athena's keepsake to guarantee one of her boons. So the only problem here is that I actually don't want to start with any of these 3 keepsakes, kind of. Because I definitely don't want to start with Skelly's Tooth, because I want to end the run with that. I want to go into the Hades fight with the tooth on. So I can't start with it unless I carry it to the very end, and that doesn't seem wise. I guess we start with Athena, and we'll just grab her dash or attack, basically. Go gift Hypnos? Oh, right. I can probably... Okay, I should probably do that. I should probably gift some people some things. What's Hypnos' keepsake?
It's usually...
Shut up.
Glad to keep things interesting.
Money? Okay, that's a good idea. It's not leveled up at all, but that's fine. Yes, we'll do that. We'll start with the coin purse. Too bad I'm not using that Titan's blood. All right, we're gonna unlock a few more things here. Fountains provide 10% more health than usual. I didn't even know that was a thing. This is really good. Urns of Wealth. This is very, very helpful. I think I take that.
This looks to be an excellent investment, contractor.
I think,
Go on
and I'll do
so.
another one. Because now we can get gold pots. Probably just this one. Because the fountains in between biomes will now restore more health for us too. That's fine.
Contractor is going to help you.
Okay. So I'll start with Hypnos' keepsake, which just gives us a little bit more money at the start. Even if I spent keys here, we don't have enough darkness to level anything up. I could put darkness into these, but if I was going to continue the save file, I'd probably rather save up for when I unlock this. I guess I can just show what's here.
How else can I improve?
Oh, I actually could almost afford the first one of these. This is super important. You should be saving keys and darkness to get this as soon as possible. It's very cheap darkness. It just takes a lot of keys to get to. Otherwise, I only have 2 Death Defiances. It's the most I can afford. 1 extra dash, and those are the 2 main things that you need at the start. Chthonic Vitality is fine. Shadow Presence does something usually. Boiling Blood is fine, and of course, Thick Skin is going to be useful. So because I wouldn't normally put blood in these, I'm not going to right now either, because I'd rather save that blood for... Sorry, not blood, darkness for privileged status. Maybe even Olympian favor, more Thick Skin, etc. So... yeah, privileged status is just incredibly good because it increases your damage output by 40% as long as you think about it and control what gods you're going to see and things like that. Okay. How deep into the game do you need to be to unlock the other side of the mirror? Nyx, it comes from Nyx. I'm not certain. You probably have to unlock the entire mirror if I were to guess. I'm not certain when you actually get it, though. Privileged status more important than Olympian favor. 100%. Yes, definitely. Definitely. I would... so you'd want... if I were starting a... hey, Jerds. If I were starting a new save, I would just make sure by the time I have enough keys to unlock that portion of the mirror, that I have a little bit of darkness saved up to get privileged status immediately. That's probably priority number 1. We're going to put this on... just to kind of start with a random start here. Talk to Nyx now, maybe? It's fine. We're going to do 0 heat. We're using the shield here. There's really no other decisions coming out of here I think we need to think about. Coin purse is generally a pretty good keepsake here. Anyway, if you don't want to control what you get at the start, basically. If you are trying to optimize your wins and just force wins, you're probably better off starting with certain god keepsakes. The best gods in this instance, I think, might be something like Ares on the special. We're just going to be blocking a lot, things like that. We're going to do 0 heat here, because this is kind of for people that maybe don't have a very advanced save file yet, and they're just trying to get like the first or second wind out of here, so yeah. Yeah, for some reason certain things are left out here. I'm not I don't really know why they do that. But alright, I think we're good to start the run.
Thanks.
How long would you say it takes to get enough blood for all aspects? I don't know how many hours, honestly. VODs are enabled, yes. Alright, so in case you don't know, hammers can appear as your first choice leaving going into Tartarus. There's actually a couple of really good options here. Actually, all three of these have some merit, I'd say. Charge Shot is really good just because it deals a lot of damage. It might be the best take here. Pulverizing Blow is usually good with Zag Aspect if you put Titan's Blood into Zag Aspect here, which we did not do. But if we did, that would definitely be the best choice here, because it just means the Aspect increases their damage by 15%, and now it gets to hit twice, and things like that. That works really well if you get, like, Artemis, Athena, Aphrodite on the attack, and you can have a pretty good run like that. Hi, Pinecone. But I think what I actually want to take here is Charged Flight. The thing is, if I take Charged Flight here, this is going to be an extremely narrow-minded run. I think the hammers are going to be what determines what kind of run you're going to have, I think. So basically, you should kind of be up in the air as to what your build's going to do most of the time until you get the hammer. And then the hammer's going to decide for you what you're going to do, I think. I'm thinking Charge Flight is a little too specific for me to take here to show off, just because it is a very good hammer upgrade. You just need a pretty good special boon paired with it. Again, percentage-based, meaning Aphrodite, Athena, Artemis. You can even with this, you could even take Poseidon or Demeter, too. But the thing is, all we'd be doing the whole run is holding down our special and spamming at enemies. And I kind of don't want to show a build where you're kind of just relying on this one hammer to get by. But I think if this was just me playing casually, this would be the correct choice in order to A, play the game quickly, and B, guarantee an easier win. But otherwise, I think Charge Shot is actually very nice. It kind of turns your Bull Rush into a very wide and thick bow that deals a lot of damage. 80 damage is a lot. Increasing your base damage on any move is very powerful. It is very, very powerful. Yeah. You want to wait for Hammer to decide build skills. Should you not equip a God's Keepsake going in? No, well, it kind of depends. If you kind of want to purposely go for a certain build, then you can still do that, I think. You just gotta have kind of backup strats in the back of your mind, I think. But yeah, I see what you're saying, Ninja. It's still, like, really good to, say, start with Athena's Dash, or to start with an attack boon with the bow. That kind of thing. It might happen down the line that you get a hammer that coincides with your special when you're using the bow, and you might switch, but that's okay. All damage with Pulverizing Blow.
Thanks, Daedalus.
Alright, so I am going to move pretty quickly through the rooms when attacking, for the most part, I think. I'm going to try to go nice and slow. So you can knock enemies into the wall using just your attack here. I don't know if it's worth specifically going for. You'll see that Texas has Wall Slam. And that will deal some damage to enemies. It can actually be a pretty decent number, too. But for the most part, for now, we're mostly just going to be spamming this. We can get nice and close if we're feeling confident about it. It's not a bad idea to try to take... to try to use the pots and the traps around the room. Yeah. So when the choice is Chaos and a boon, you probably just want to do the boon most of the time. Chaos is a risk versus reward thing. It could definitely make our run a lot faster. It can definitely has the possibility of making us more powerful and things like that. But it's when we know our power level is not going to be very high, we haven't unlocked a lot of things from the mirror and other places. I think we just We just take a boon here, basically. It's not wrong to take Chaos there for sure. So yeah, the general process here is gonna be to just... you can block still when you're charging this. So you really got to utilize the block when you're using the shield here. Isn't there another door? No, there's only one exit in that room. Okay, so these are unfortunately not good choices for us. I guess the special's actually okay here. Yes, Chad is welcome to ask questions. Please do, actually, because I might not think of everything that I should answer. The special's actually not bad here if I'm just trying to stay far away. I can just spread some poison on enemies. It's not that bad. Because the special from the shield does not deal a lot of base damage anyway. Explain why Dio isn't good on the attack. Oh, good point. So this is incredibly bad to put on the attack here. So your attacks and specials will scale with these gods that give you boons that, say, increase attack by X%. So that 80 damage that we're dealing with charge shot right now could be getting increased by 50 to 100% depending on the boon that we get offered to go with it. This does not do that. Instead, it inflicts hangover and only deals 4 damage a second. Think about the difference between, even if we did 5 stacks of hangover here, that's 20 damage. 5 is the max you can do. That's 20 damage every half a second versus doubling our damage from the charge shot. It's just not as potent, really. It's not much. Not to mention you have to keep it going, too. Trippy Shot is worth considering. I only have 1 cast. It's okay. It doesn't really do much. It's actually kind of bad. If I hit a button here... Oh, it doesn't work for some reason. It's actually kind of bad here because we have the Boiling Blood Mirror upgrade, which means enemies will take 50% more damage from our attack and special when they have a cast lodged inside them. Trippy Shot makes it so we can no longer lodge casts inside enemies. So I think the special is pretty much what we have to take here. Neither of these options actually matter because I'm pretty sure I don't have the upgrades where these do anything. Yes, I do have Boiling Blood on. Okay. So it doesn't matter. So you just kind of go for whatever you think you need for your save file here. Probably gems, judging from what I needed here. So I could throw the special out here and just apply poison. And this is going to be very safe. While your shield is out in the middle of nowhere, though, you cannot charge. So I'm like hitting the attack button, but it won't let me do anything while the shield is out there. Overall, we're mostly just going to be using this still, I think.
I'll hang on to
Is Dio attack boon ever good? Fast-hitting weapons from a range are pretty good for it, I'd say.
Got to use the fountain to get out of here.
I think it's actually still okay on the rail. It's not bad.
We'll just get you on another voyage to the top.
Really exclusive access? That's a duo boon. Okay, again, we're probably not going to focus on cast here because you kind of need a lot more things to unlock before that becomes good, I think. Cast kind of don't... I need to unlock like Infernal Soul and things like that. Both the dash and the call are actually pretty decent. I'm actually feeling like... I'm feeling like the call might be better. We have Athena's keepsake. We could try to force Athena offering us the dash. Here. The shield block AoE. It has like a 180-degree angle. I'm feeling the call here. So, call meters build up based on how many hits you deal. Not how powerful the hits are, not how much damage you deal. It's how much damage you take and how many hits you dole out. So that means this call meter probably won't charge very quickly for us because we don't strike a lot. We just have chunky attacks that we hit occasionally with. I think I've kind of talked myself out of the call into taking Tidal Dash, also known as Splash Dash. This is a powerful dash attack. This is very good. This is very, very good. Especially if we get 1 or 2 more Poseidon boons, this could be doing a lot of work for us. It's probably the highest damage output dash there is, and it can also kind of help keep us safe a little bit. by knocking enemies away from us as we're trying to just get away and charge up the bull rush and do that, basically. Does hangover count for hits? It does if you're speaking about... Oh, does it count for, like, the call meter? I don't know. It's a good question. I'm going to say I don't think so. Let's do this with Splash Dash.
No getting out without a drink.
We have 140 gold. This is the point where you really got to think about how much gold do I have? What do things cost in the middle shop? So every biome has a middle shop, basically. That means you're in the middle of the biome and you get to go see Charon and possibly buy something. Every biome also has an end shop where you can buy something there too. I'm just looking here real quick. So I think we're fine to take health here because boons cost 150 gold and we'll probably earn 10 gold just from killing enemies in this one next room. So I think this should be fine. Isn't Tidal Dash a little awkward with the melee weapon? This is true. If you were using like the sword, it's actually kind of funky because you're trying to get close to enemies and hit them with the sword. But it's not going to work very well because they keep getting pushed away from you. But with this, with Charge Shot Hammer, it's kind of become this weird... ranged build that we have going now. So we still don't have an attack boon, which might sound scary, but we're doing fine. Charge Shot deals a lot of damage. Generally, you do not want to skip shops as long as you have enough money to afford something. Because this is a mini-boss room. The skull indicates that this is a mini-boss. That's what that means. You will always be offered some mini-boss rooms in a biome. It usually happens about halfway through, around the same time that the shop will get offered. It will be offered again after this. We know this because this is the first time a mini-boss room has been offered to us. Each biome has a certain number of variations in the mini-boss room. Oh, there is a little up arrow. You're right. I didn't notice that before, Pinecone. So each biome has a certain number of variations to which mini-boss you can see. I think Asphodel has 3. Tartarus has 3. Elysium only has 2. So you'll be offered that number of mini-boss rooms until you take one or skip them all, basically. This means we have 2 more chances of being offered the mini-boss after this. That way we know that we can still get a boon from a mini-boss soon.
Charon's shop.
It is kind of worth considering here whether we should take health or a boon. We probably buy the boon, just to increase our chances of getting an attack boon here. I think we do this just to attempt to get... Because there's a chance that we might not get offered the attack boon here or at the mini-boss. So we might just take it here. The health isn't wrong, though, I think.
Don't spend it all in one place, mate.
These are bad options. Ravenous isn't too bad. So Crystal Beam, we don't really want. Unless you're going to go all in on a Crystal Beam run, and I'm sure you guys have seen many Crystal Beam runs by me, it's not worth going for. We only have 1 cast still from the mirror, so it doesn't make sense. Snowburst, same reason. We only have 1 cast. It's not good. 40 damage in AoE is usually kind of okay, but again, these 2 are basically for cast-based builds. This kind of works with almost everything. It's just not super easy. Welcome, demos. So Ravenous Whale is pretty good. While you have no cast, take 10% less damage and deal 10% more. It's not bad. So this happens when the cast is either lodged in enemies or just sitting on the ground too. So it's okay, is what I'd say. At this point, we were kind of hoping to get an attack boon, I'd say. But this isn't such a bad thing. I'm going to be throwing out the cast a little more often now. I kind of just wasn't bothering before. So I'm kind of getting all in there. This kind of comes from a little bit of experience. Took a little bit of damage. It's not the end of the world.
By my birthright.
Check for gold pots at the end of the room. We have Athena in the next door, which is kind of nice. Check every single well. Check every single infernal trove, I think. You know, assuming you don't have tight deadline on, there's no reason not to. Don't forget to hydrate. I know I'm clearing my throat a lot, huh? All right, so this is the mini boss here. This is the sneak. He teleports around. He's very quick. He will always eventually teleport behind you, and that's what you got to be ready for. And that's usually your best opportunity to strike. One important thing to note about the sneak.
The biting cold, sir.
Oof. One important thing to note about the sneak is that when he teleports, he loses any debuffs that you may have had on him. So if we put the Dionysus Hangover on him from using our special, he would have lost it when he teleported. So there's kind of no point. So you're kind of in a bad spot if that's what your build is keyed around there. So again, no attack boons. So that's bad. Never seen this boss before. Does he only appear after a certain event? I don't think so. But maybe. May I explain the boon pool and costless benefit of picking or ignoring gods? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if we get to that. These are not great. I think I might just take full length shot, but I'm not sure. So, I mean, 7% baseline damage less. It's okay. Honestly, if you were a new player and you're like, if you haven't gotten a win or you've only gotten 1 or 2 wins, sure footing is probably what you want to take here. You know what? I'll do it. Just because I'm very used to traps, but I know not everyone is. I know like how traps work and where they come from and things of that nature, but so again, I'm dashing in, getting an attack. This yellow health bar in enemies means they have armor on. Armor is a very scary thing. You'd probably want to play at a distance until the enemy no longer has armor here. And then now you can stagger him. When they have the red health bar, you can just hit them over and over. Trials are very good. Trials are very, very, very good. Especially when you don't have an attack boon. And our hammer has kind of pushed us towards having an attack build. So I'm very familiar with slow-moving purple arrows. You son of a gun. In terms of which god you want to anger here, I feel like Athena's trials might be a little bit easier. In terms of whose attack boon I'd rather have, I'm actually not positive. Is the second boon you take on trial lower rarity? No. That used to be the case a very long time ago, before 1.0. Demon trial is scary? Is it? Athena's trial makes enemies impervious sometimes. Demeter's trials put down like swirly things. I think because I'm familiar with the Demeter trials, I think I'm okay going Athena first. Because I think I'd rather have Athena's attack if I can. Just because that deflect mechanic is strong.
I am most grateful.
That's kind of a tough choice. Okay. So comboing boons, you know, it's a problem, right? It's kind of tempting to just take the call here while it's offered. Chilling enemies with Demeter's boons is actually a rather powerful effect. But getting Demeter's call can just kind of fix that. Just get rare crop? Yeah, right? I think I'll take the attack here. The call's not wrong, and then you could just hope to get Demeter's attack instead, basically. But I think at this point we stop gambling and playing around. We just take an attack boon. Hopefully we can get a couple palms in it. What is Rare Crop? Rare Crop is a boon offered by Demeter that will take between 1 and 3 boons and increase their rarity for you, thus nullifying the fact that we have a bunch of common boons in our inventory. Ow, ow, ow. This is Demeter's trial. She puts down a bunch of circles. This was kind of an easy trial in terms of enemies, though.
The harsh of winter's gone.
Winter, that's when it's cold or something, right?
We got kind of lousy options again here. So we already saw these 2 boons, and I already explained why they're bad. and not helpful to us. So I think we just take Frozen Touch. Frozen Touch isn't horrible. This is a way to chill enemies at least, and it completely chills them too. The damage is nothing. Hey, Mr. Eater. The damage does nothing. 15 damage is nothing. But chilling enemies to max is pretty good here. When you chill an enemy, they move slower and they attack less frequently too. Attacking less frequently is the major thing there. It's probably not worth buying Chaos Gate if I was a new player here. This health is a little bit of overkill. It's worth considering, though. I think I'll be fine, but you may want to consider otherwise. The short footing, reduced damage from enemy calls like Theseus. Ooh, I don't think so.
Hello, sir.
Oh, sorry, I didn't explain that door option. Hey, Abdullah. Sorry, I didn't explain that door option. So we had darkness on the left, and they had the exclamation point on the right. The exclamation point means it's a story room. Story rooms include Sisyphus and Tartarus, Eurydice and Asphodel, Patroclus in Elysium. Check for gold pots, of course, here.
You know, Prince said.
And, sorry, I'm going to skip the dialogue in case, for spoilers kind of thing. It's not wrong to take the darkness here as a new player, but since we're just trying to get a win in the run, we really want to just get this build as powerful as possible. Healing's a bit overkill. We're at 93 out of 105, so the gold is usually going to be my choice here.
No worries whatsoever.
Cheers, mate.
You can do this.
Were they memeing Rare Crop? Yeah, Rare Crop is a boon meme in this chat, basically. Alright, so this is the final shop before the boss. So, before I choose Dionysus, I'd want to know, what can he possibly give us? So there's the call, because I don't have a call boon yet. There's the cast, which I'm really not interested in. He also has some other boons like Premium Vintage, which is okay. Exclusive Access. Exclusive Access is a duo boon that makes it so all our boons are epic afterwards, which is pretty good. But the thing is, we filled in a lot of our boons already. So, yeah, this is kind of interesting. This is an interesting choice. The reason why we're thinking so hard about it is because this palm is extremely powerful if we're able to upgrade our attack, which still only is 40%. The issue with that is the palm might not allow us to, because I think we can palm 4 out of our 5 boons right now. There's a good chance we can get another palm later. This is actually kind of difficult. I'd probably normally take this. Palm diminishing returns. Yeah, so palms are incredibly good for the first and second ones, basically, but for each subsequent palm, you get less of a bonus from it. So that's why the first and second are really, really important. Then after that, you kind of don't care. But you kind of want to get them early, because by the time you have too many boons, you might not be able to use those palms on the things that you want to. There's a lot of bad boons from Dionysus that we really don't want. I think we're going to gamble. This is more for fun. No, I shouldn't do that then. You know what? I think the smart move is actually taking the palm.
Should help keep me
Luckily, we're able to upgrade the attack.
powered up.
I think the smart thing is taking the palm there. There's a lot of bad boons from Dionysus there that we're really not interested in, basically.
Hey, you must be one of Meg's sisters. Nice to finally meet you. My name is Agrius. Not murderer, definitely not.
I felt like listening to this. I don't know why. Okay, that's went on longer than I thought. All right, so we want to get the cast inside, and then we're just kind of gonna dash around and just get these charge shots off. You can see we're dealing 173 damage just from this. That's pretty good, considering we have a level 2 common boon. We don't have any aspect. That's a decent amount of damage. It's not gonna be quick,
What is she?
but again, we're just trying to get a win in. If you really want to get spicy, you could try to get some dash damage in there, some wall slams. This is a good opportunity when you see waves attacks like that, because we have deflect on our attack from Athena. This means that all this stuff is being deflected. You can watch her health go down very quickly when she does that. So even the whole beam from Charge Shot gets deflected. That deflects everything in its path.
That's one
So
way to
it's
prevent
very good for that purpose.
I felt Aegis shudder.
So you always want to think about everything here.
Keep going.
Not really. I don't think I'm interested in selling anything. The special is almost worth considering. We don't really need any of this stuff. I wouldn't waste gold on it.
Do I
Gold is
still
sort of a
need
premium
these?
here. You know what? I think it's actually correct to sell this special. It's worth considering to keep it just because it fills in a boon slot, right? So now, if we sell it, it means the subsequent boons we're gonna get are they might still offer specials, but we don't really want to use our special. We're really only gonna be utilizing our attack. So it's worth considering, but I think we got rid of it because I think it's worth the 85 gold. We definitely swap the keepsake here because the coin purse does nothing after you've already used it. It just doesn't do anything now. It's just a question of, do I just want to go immediately for the safe play with Skelly's Lucky Tooth? Do I want to force a certain god with Athena or Artemis? And that's what I got to think about now. So Athena's call would be very good for this still. There are some tier 2 boons from her that would be helpful too. I think it's okay to take her. There's a few good things. Are you less likely to get special replacements if you have one already? I don't know. If you sell the last Dionysus boon, will that potentially remove Dionysus from the pool of new boons you will see? I don't think so. Hi, Spartan. Hydrate? Okay, halfway through the run, Godzilla. Oh, wait, I actually have some more water, I just realized. Thank you, Godzillian. Yes, I think once you pick up a god, even if you sell all their boons, he will still be offered more. So what I mean by that is, once you pick up a certain god, it's you're more likely to see that god again for the rest of the run. Up to 4 Olympian gods. Hermes is separate. I've heard buying Yarn of Ariadne improves chances of hitting duo/legendaries. Is that true? Yes, it is true, actually. Someone looked into the game code and found out. It does. Refreshing Nectar from Eurydice also does that. So if you know you're capable of getting a certain duo boon, you could buy that yarn if you know that god's coming up, hopefully. Most of the time, I don't know if buying yarn is that meaningful. Maybe if you're early on in the run and you still don't have a boon in the slot that you want to fill, kind of thing. You don't find a hammer Tartarus, can you find one in Asphodel? Yes. The Avenger. So you'll be offered the first hammer between Tartarus and Asphodel. The second one will start being offered in Elysium, so you can get 2 hammers in a run. How you been, Avenger? Oh, we should probably change the stream title. Oh, wait, no, you guys said it. Never mind, it's in the stream title. 2 max, yes. You can only get 2 hammers in a run. The Anvil, which is a Styx item, allows you to have 3 hammer upgrades at once, but it's really uncontrollable. Yes, you can also happen to find your first hammer Elysium. It is possible to get screwed like that. Even without Fate Authority, doesn't matter. You will never see your if you pick up 1 hammer in Tartarus or Asphodel, whatever, you will never see the second one offered until Elysium. Can't get it earlier than that.
Change of scenery, at least.
So even if you don't get the correct first hammer, you can know that you're gonna get one in Elysium. So yeah, we took Athena's keepsake here. She has a couple boons that could help us. the sure footing help with lava? It does.
Here I am.
There's a lot of safety boosts she can give us, and that's what I'm thinking. We don't have a lot of damage, but it's okay. These are bloodless. They're pretty annoying enemies. They're melee, so if you have a ranged weapon or build, then it shouldn't be too bad. But they can usually sneak up behind you and hit you pretty easily here. You gotta watch out for these bomb guys because they have a death rattle where they drop bombs after they die. They pretty much all do. There's a purple one, there's a yellow one, there's a
Last one standing.
green one. Alright, so 2 doors here. Nothing down here. Gold, we already have a 193 obols. So that's fine. Tiger, thanks for 3 months, man. Beat Zagbo 32 heat. Nice. Happy for you. So we have 193 golds. That means we can afford either a palm or some health or a boon at the shop in Asphodel here. So I think we just take the Athena right away.
Onward.
The majority of the time, I think in a casual run is more boons just equals more better build, for the most part. This is all under the assumption you were doing this with 0 to probably 5-ish heat. There are certain packs of punishment that will change your thinking a lot. Whoa. So it's okay to kind of traverse lava for a second here and there. It's not the end of the world.
Olympus, I accept this message.
I hate this layout. This one's rough. Wow. We got some good rarities here. That's good. So we're probably not interested in the special, because we're not going to be using the special to deal damage. Therefore, it doesn't really do a whole lot. Will the keepsake still offer you Athena even if you skip it right there? Yes. Fodspap, thank you for the Twitch Prime. So the god keepsakes guarantee that you'll see that god next, not including Hermes. We still could have seen Hermes. Once, if you skip the door with the guy with the god that you have the keepsake on for it, then you will preserve the keepsake. There will still be this one over here under the god keepsake. Once this one will go away once you pick up a boon from this god, but not before it. If you buy the god from a shop while you have the keepsake on, that one will go away. Does dual room count for the keepsake? Yes. So, exposed is almost okay. I'm actually a little iffy if this works with charge shot. So this makes us deal more backstab damage. I'm kind of iffy on it. Brilliant riposte. This is actually rather powerful, I think. That's a lot of damage. We're gonna be deflecting a good amount. The other important thing to know is that this is the boon we need to possibly get the Athena Legendary. This is the only boon that will bring you to Athena's Legendary, potentially. So if we want to see Athena's Legendary, we have to take this boon. This is these are both tier 2 boons, as we call them, because you need a different Athena boon first. Why? Because, how do I open the codex? I don't know. Left button, it didn't work for some reason. This is an Overexplain run, Avenger, so I'm trying to record something. See? Thank you. Still didn't work. Why can't I open the codex? Oh, I have to unlock it. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, never mind. Whoops. Alright, so if you open the codex and you look at the gods, and you look at Athena's, you'd see that... if you want to get Athena's Legendary boon, you have to take just a normal boon from her, and then you have to take that boon we just took, which was Brilliant Riposte. We should be deflecting things pretty regularly, so it'll help deal a little bit more damage. You can actually see the animation for when we do deflect something, because this kind of like white, see that little white golden thing kind of appeared over it. There's a mid shop. Again, same reason. You don't really want to skip shops. Talk to everyone at home viewers. Okay, yeah, I probably skipped some things. But Athena boss room. So yeah, we could have gone that way. And now we don't have Athena boons here. But that's okay. I don't think the legendary is going to be that important. Can I over-explain the Charon fight? We're not going to fight Charon. Sorry, guys. Talk to all the NPCs.
Why, good to see you, Carol.
You happy? Oh, so we can't afford both of these, which is kind of a shame. But Demeter's Call would be very powerful. Again, I'm looking at what open boon slots we currently have. We currently have Frozen Touch and Ravenous Will from her. We have the special, the cast, and the call slot still open. It's pretty iffy. You know, I gotta say. I'm a coward? No. Fighting Charon is not for new players. Money bag behind Charon so they don't take it. If you take this, you will gain 300 gold and you'll be forced to fight Charon, who might be the hardest boss in the fight outside of the final boss. I think I would like to take health here.
Pleasure doing business.
Yes, so you do get to keep that 300 gold. You also get 20% discount henceforth. It's not worth it, boys. So Dionysus. So not much to know about this fight, right? It's 3 waves of enemies. You always get some of these blue shieldy boys, which you kind of want to take out first. Best you can. Ow. Might be a wise idea to wait until they throw at you for me to... Sorry. Might be wiser for me to wait until they throw at me to actually use Charge Shot there. Dionysus.
In the name of Hades. Hey.
Okay. This is kind of a tough choice. Again, not really interested in the special at this point. It's not going to do anything. This will go to YouTube, yes. Assuming nothing really horrible goes wrong. So both of these are very, very good. Dionysus' Call deals a lot of damage. Think about the comparison between the hangover damage between these two. It is still worth bringing up yet again that we don't charge our call very fast. Positive Outlook is a pretty good damage resistance here. But this is probably one of the best calls we could get in just dealing damage. And dealing damage is important just because the longer a boss fight lasts, the harder it's going to be, because it's just going to whittle down your health. I think we're going to do this, because our damage is still quite low. Whereas I feel like with the block mechanic and everything, we should be okay. Thinking a Pantheon works? What do you mean by Pantheon?
What is it now?
These heads just pop out of the ground, shoot little lasers at us. Trying to just keep my distance, you know, in between each charge shot, just dashing a couple times here. Free Athena boon here. So how do we know this is free? Well, one way to know is to look at the chamber count in the top right, but assuming you don't memorize the chamber counts, that's okay. If you know you already either went to the shop or saw the shop offered in the middle of the zone that you're in, the second time you see the shop offered, it means that the upcoming room is the last room of the zone. So you could go to the shop to buy something, or any other doors besides it will offer a free item. So even if we had Fated Authority, which we don't, we could roll this door and whatever is being offered will be would be free for us. How many gods can you get? How picking gods improves their frequency, stuff like that. Okay.
Olympus, I accept this message.
didn't get the legendary. So you will only naturally see 4 different gods, excluding Hermes, in a run. Once you see your 4th god, you can guarantee yourself that you will not see any other different gods offered after that. Unless you use a god's keepsake after that. Does gifting nectar to a god affect their rarity? No. So there's no point in gifting for that purpose. Unless you roll, right, with Fated Authority. Technically, no. There are some weird, outlandish circumstances where you could get more than 4 gods, but it's extremely specific. I don't think I'll even get into it. Is it see a god or take a boon from a god? Take a boon, I believe. Yeah, they're locked in by taking their boons. So if you see Dionysus offered on a door, and you're like, I don't want to use Dionysus this run. I'm not interested in his boons. I just don't want to see him. Just don't take his door, and there's always a chance that you'll see him again, of course. But by not taking him, you're decreasing your chances of being forced to see him even more. So basically, you see 4 god, you take 4 different gods' boons, and then for the rest of the run, you'll really only see those 4 gods' boons after that. All right, so here we're not missing any Death Defiances, so this seems kind of silly. I guess we're taking Blinding Flash because this cast is not very potent here. I'm gonna say. So our backstab damage will deal 50% extra damage after we apply Exposed. We apply Exposed by simply using our attack on an enemy, basically. It's okay. It's not bad. It's usually best for when you are using Privileged Status from the mirror and you're trying to just get a curse going, because Exposed counts as a curse on enemies. So you can see in the right here, right above my head, status curse for 5 seconds, blah, 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 blah. So that's usually one of the biggest reasons you'd take Exposed from Athena. Seeing them in shops doesn't count. It does not count. You have to actually take them. Can Deathless Defiances give us an extra Death Defiance? No, so it can only fill an empty slot. And we only have 2 Death Defiances right now. And they're both full, so there's almost no point. There's a little bit of point in taking this. You still get that impervious thing, but it's a pretty weak effect. I wouldn't recommend it. So yeah, we're going to go for Exposed here. I'm not really going to go out of my way to try to get backstabs or anything here still. We're just going to kind of roll with the flow. Maybe we'll get some backstabs in there.
Changed up your look again, have you, Hydra?
So get that cast in there, and then just start hitting them. It might be worth noting there are certain enemies you simply cannot backstab. So the kind of semi-obvious ones that you wouldn't think you'd be able to. The Hydra is one of them. Learning colors, yes. Actually, I don't think I have them unlocked. I don't know. These are all the same. Butterfly balls don't have it back? Yes. That was the other good example. Get that cast back, get it back inside. Oh, this is a different learning head. This is the one that throws balls on the ground and it spawns enemies.
I do not appreciate that.
So each learning fight will have a random set of heads. They all have different random colors. And all the different colors do different things. These purple ones shoot out laser beams. These yellow ones do a variety of attacks. I believe they shoot out also some more purple laser beams. They can also slam their head on the ground, so you kind of just want to be cautious. Watch their attack patterns. Don't get too close to them if you can help it. I'm saving up my call a little bit, but I'm going to spend it here and there now. I think most of the time you don't want to save up full calls. Just going to throw that out there now. It kind of depends. Depends on a few situations. I think in this situation, you don't want to save up a full call because you just want to get that hangover damage in whenever you can.
And clear. Got some heft.
Bounty. All right. Good fight. Easy. Right, guys? Oh. A reminder, feel free to ask questions. Okay, so at this point, I know that the only other keepsake I could put on... So this Athena's keepsake has been used up. We do technically get more rarity out of it, because that's what the keepsake does. but it won't guarantee an Athena boon anymore. So I'm probably not going to bother to do it. It's not worth it. We probably just put on Skelly's Tooth just because the heroes fight at the end of Elysium is actually very difficult. And we'll just carry this to the end of the game now to try to stay safe. Never full call Dionysus, always full call Artemis versus bosses. That's kind of a good call out there. That might be true.
Should I take the train?
I'm still always going to check here. I mean, if this was just myself playing, I'd probably sell Sure Footing, but I won't here. Because I'm somewhat confident in not getting hit by traps. If you know that if you know the encounter isn't long enough, then there's never a point to even attempting to save up the call. This is gonna be this is almost a tough decision, but it's not really. Chaos again, probably wouldn't take him. It's kind of risky, and the hammer's too good to kind of turn down here. There's a few good hammers that could help us. I'm thinking, can you get Sudden Rush with this? I don't know. There's like Minotaur Rush and things of that nature. There's some other things that affect our Bull Rush that could help us. I'm gonna get the cast inside this beefy enemy. So with the shield, these little chariots are basically rendered pointless. Surprised that hit me. Almost borderline pointless. You can also just kind of dash between terrain to get them to explode upon themselves. Okay. Oh. Oh, apparently I have full screen on. So this is a newish save, yes. How often would a player take Chaos if they aren't doing cast builds? If you're not... I'm thinking about tight deadline from the pack to punishment. Unless you're just curious and you want to have some fun, Chaos is more of a fun to do, I'd say. He doesn't usually help your build that often, I think. So, yeah. These two don't affect our attack or our bull rush. This isn't crazy. Dreadflight I wouldn't consider a very good hammer overall. Chargeflight is pretty good, but I think we're going to kind of stick with what we're doing here. So Ferocious Guard, after blocking foe, gain plus 20% damage and move speed for 10 seconds. It's pretty good. It's not bad. I put it sort of middle of the list here.
Done and done.
Again, this is something I'm not going to try to actively pursue. I'm not going to like try to make sure I block something to get that bonus. I'm just gonna, if I get it, I get it. And if I don't, I don't. It's not worth going out of your way to try to force a lot of these things to happen, I think. These eggs will respawn after exploding them. Chunky enemy. Trap's probably gonna kill it now. There we go. So it looks like I automatically block. Okay, this is the important thing with Charged Shot here. It goes through these shield guys. Otherwise, we'd probably be having a hard time. So this is like one of the biggest pulls for Charged Shot there. Penetrates the shield guys, one of the most annoying guys in the game and everything, right? Quick reload doesn't help the build, doesn't do anything. Makes us worse, if anything. Quick recovery is okay. It's worth considering. If you're gonna ask, like, how quickly do you have to dash after and everything like that, I don't know. Honestly, it's just one of those other things. It's like, I hope it helps. I don't know if it's gonna. That's the defensive pick. The offensive pick is Quick Favor, which is, again, just okay. Both of these are only okay, if anything. If extra dashes from Hermes is always correct, as often as you can. It's gonna help you in a lot of high heat runs. Yeah, maybe. But that's where we have no healing a lot of times. I think we'll go... Yeah, I think I'll go quick favor. And I'm thinking about this because our damage is still kind of low. Encounters are going to last a pretty long time as it is. So with that, I guess it's okay.
Felt that.
I don't really want to skip the shop. We have money to spend. You know, I know that's health, and health seems really tempting right now, but maybe we can just buy health and we don't have to fight enemies, right? The more enemies you fight, the more likely you are to lose one of those Death Defiances and make the run a little bit worse. We're probably just going to buy both of these. I'm going to buy the Palm first, because that way, whatever I get from Dionysus, potentially, I will not be offered to upgrade with the Palm, because I don't think anything actually from it would, anything new from him, I will want to use a Palm on, really. It's possible I don't get anything good from him, but we'll see. I just really would love to hit the attack. Again, if we could. Dash is fine too, but the attack is very good. These are actually pretty close to being fairly equal, but I think we do the attack here. I think we do. Those are close. Well, we're gonna be doing it at a range quite a bit.
Hey, what's
Ooh.
with that Chiron, man? He's
Chiron, he said.
I don't know, though I am glad he's been of service.
Pretty bad boons here. Surprised you got enough darkness to buy so many levels of Death Defiance. Because you managed to escape once and already the 1K prophecy. I think so. One of those is from Skelly. So I already explained why we don't really want these two boons, so I guess we're taking After Party. I don't consider After Party normally a very good boon, honestly. It's not horrible, because obviously we're taking it over these two, but yeah. There's a theme going on in my channel where I do push-ups for every point of health that it restores. Yeah, go ahead and start counting, guys. Because I put down that boon a lot. I put it down a lot. And so I always say I'll do one push-up for every point of health that it restores. And it inevitably restores health to me, so I'm clearly being too hard on it. I kind of just want to get the second Hermes here. This is the point where palms are really not that great anymore. We have 2 on the attack. It'd be okay to get 1 on the dash, but it's not that important, I'd say, at this point. I don't think there's much to say about these guys. Again, same old strategy, just trying to watch the souls to make sure we don't let anything respawn. These traps are going to do a lot of work against them. I'm just trying to stay away, following a certain pattern around the room, basically. I do have a couple calls up. I should probably be utilizing that a little bit better. Again, if we know that the encounter is not going to last long enough to do a full call, you wouldn't want to even attempt it. And in this circumstance with Dionysus, you really don't. Full call from Dionysus is not that meaningful. How many hours do I have in this game? At least 1,600. I know that much. Alright, so we already talked about quick reload. It's bad. We want to keep the cast lodge in enemies. Quick recovery is okay. 20% greater haste. It's pretty bad. It's not helpful. Even 40%, which is the epic version of this, it's not going to do a whole lot. Extra dashes are very meaningful, but greater haste is not, I think. It just doesn't do much, really. Moving slightly faster is not going to help you dodge attacks necessarily. So quick recovery, yeah, will restore some health potentially after getting hit, so that's pretty good. Looking in here, I'd probably buy this.
I can use this.
I could buy this, but my gold is really low. I think I'll save it. This is actually a very difficult decision. I know, like, a lot of these have been pretty difficult, but... So, this is just from knowledge of... Poseidon could give us a couple of very, very good boons. To help with the dash, basically. I do not have Razor Shoals, that's one of the boons. I do not have Breaking Wave. I do not have Typhoon's Fury. There's a few that could be very, very helpful. Athena could give us the legendary from her. We don't have privilege status. It kind of comes down to, again, balancing the build. Offense versus defense. What do we think we need more of right now? Use the Codex as an example. It's still locked for me. I didn't unlock it. It's kind of tough. So both of these are mini boss rooms. The single chevron next to it just means it's the mini boss, basically. I think we'll go. Crappy Boy says Poseidon. Athena legendary isn't that good. This is true. It's nice to get a legendary just because it's fun, but it's not a great legendary. It's really not. It might sound like the ultimate defensive, like I can't lose kind of boon, a legendary boon to get. The cooldown on it is 20 seconds. So you absorb a hit without taking damage, and then there's a 20-second cooldown. That's a really long time in Hades. It's a really, really long time. And there's not many other boons we want from her because we already have Brilliant Riposte and we already have Exposed. So if we don't get offered the legendary, then that's a really bad take, probably. I think we're going to go this way. I know it's really tempting. Holy Shield. Yeah, Holy Shield is a boon that we don't mind taking.
Short one.
Quiet Pull. Does Athena Zorb proc before Acorn at least? I think so. Yes. The Acorn is the keepsake from Eurydice. So these traps in the center of the room can help damage the Minotaur. They actually deal quite a bit of damage even. Bonk. So you gotta watch out for the charge from him. It's one of the more difficult moves to avoid. But when you have the shield, it's pretty easy. Unless you're doing 50 heat like me and I just completely forget. Trying to watch those Dionysus stacks on him. You can see the purple in the top. And using the call as soon as it falls off.
Got him that time.
What are your thoughts on running Curse Slash guys? I don't like it.
In the name of Hades.
Maybe some fun, but it doesn't do much otherwise. Alright, best option is Razor Shoals here. Again, same reasons. Not gonna be relying on the special or the cast for this run. So we're just gonna beef up our dash a little bit. Your boons knockway effects also rupture at foes. They take 15 rupture damage every 0.2 seconds. So it's for 3 seconds, victim takes damage while moving. It's kind of hard to really know exactly what this does. A little bit. Like it's kind of confusing. So they take damage based on how much they're moving? Or when they're moving, so that's when that damage procs, I guess. It's basically like poison damage. And the idea is that if we knock them back, then you'll see that damage tick up. Let me try to watch it. Well, you can't really knock back butterfly balls very well. So you can see when we deflect, we're dealing quite a bit of damage from a lot of things. We really want to get rid of these little chariots first. I'm just kind of gonna ignore the big beefy shieldy guy for the moment and try to kill everything else so I can worry about him when he's alone. Gotta keep in mind where these slow moving purple arrows are coming from.
That one's rearming. Another key.
All right, so this is a question that comes up a lot. Why is there a skull on the door on the right? And why is there not a skull on the door on the left? The skull does not mean it's a mini-boss. It just means it should be a more challenging room. Challenging usually just means that you'll get more armored enemies and fewer regular enemies without armor. Yeah, more elite enemies. Yeah, that's right. So if you're not a ranged build, this might actually be more dangerous because armored enemies are difficult because you can't stagger lock them, basically. So you might want to stay away for that reason. If you're facing tight deadline, then this might be pretty difficult and things like that. Then this might actually be faster usually. So I guess we just go this way. This is a fresh account. This is semi-fresh. I think this is an account with a handful of wins in it. We have 2 Death Defiances, a semi-limited mirror. So this purple swirly thing around Zag is actually that hammer we took, the second one, Ferocious Guard. So it's showing us that Ferocious Guard is up. Nice to know, but again, like, I'm not gonna play around it.
What did I tell you?
One important thing to note about Charge Shot that I didn't bring up earlier is it doesn't matter how long you charge it, actually. Whether you charge it for half a second or a really long time, it's going to deal the same amount of damage. So that's one of the reasons why it's so good, because you can get these quick hits off like this and deal a lot of damage quickly, basically. Cusk Zero, thank you for the Twitch Prime, buddy. A little more health is kind of tempting, but there are some more Poseidon boons that could help. Wave Pounding, Breaking Wave. I think having more damage in this circumstance might actually be equivalent to having more health in some ways, because it's going to take a while to down some of these bosses. Suggested packs for 32 heat. Oh, that's a big topic. I hope to have a video out about that soon, but maybe after this runs over, we can go over it a little bit. Aye! Nasty as usual. Thanks for the Twitch Prime.
Come on in.
Oh! One of the nice things about Charge Shot is your aspect doesn't matter that much with it. It's still just good. It's just gonna be good. Dinosaur 2019. Thanks for the Twitch Prime. I don't know if this is the last wave of enemies or not. Oh wow, thanks guys. Ronnie de Barrow W.
Olympus
Thanks for the Twitch Prime.
this message.
Oh, this had to happen, didn't it? I'm laughing because we got offered at a legendary boon that we really don't care about. I guess we're gonna take it just because the other 2 boons are not very good. Second wave, your boons would knock away effects, shove foes multiple times, so you get +1 knockback for them. Second wave is not a great boon. Usually. There are some things that can make it kind of better. We do have Razor Shoals, which helps it a little bit. It's just not very meaningful most of the time. If Breaking Wave was being offered here, I would 100% take Breaking Wave over Second Wave here now. Doesn't Second Wave stack Razor Shoals? Yes, but it's not that important. You could sell it for a large amount of gold, too. Don't care about the special. Ocean's Bounty, possibly good for farming run if you're just trying to gain more darkness and gems right now. It's not so bad. But again, this is more for people who are trying to get that first win in there, basically. Wall Slam damage, yeah, it does something for that. It's okay.
The power of the sea.
All right, so I'm hitting this button here to look at the chamber accounts. Because, okay, I remember now we saw the middle shop already, so we know this is the final room that we're about to enter in before the boss. So I only have 138 obols, which you may or may not be able to see, unless there's only gems in here. I'm not really interested. So I could afford health or a palm from there. Oh, wait. Plus a little bit. Nah, it's probably still not worth it. We probably just take the free palm. It's free. We know it's free.
gods grant me strength.
Huh. Frozen Touch, very poor thing to upgrade here. Kind of difficult to decide here. I think the call might be best. Because the call will help a lot versus bosses. It's going to deal a lot of damage to bosses. 8% more on our attack. Again, it's already level 3. It's kind of getting there. I'd probably only level this call once at this point. Yeah, getting the first level on pretty much every boon is usually more important.
The monster has returned in a
You said earlier if you have enough gold to go for shop generally. What if it's shop or trial of the gods? So 2 boons versus the shop? Kind of depends where you are. You'd probably want to do a trial just because 2 boons are so powerful, right? And as long as you don't think that the trial's going to kill you, like you're low on health or something like that. If you're low on health, just go to the shop. Try to find some health there. Play it safe, right? Alright, so this fight, it can be quite difficult.
Couldn't care less about.
We're going to throw our cast out and try to hit the Minotaur really quickly here. Then we're kind of going to line them up best we can a little bit. And then we're kind of just going to run away from Theseus most of the time here. I'm going to try to keep aware of where he is in trajectory of the pillars in the middle of the room, because those pillars will block his spear. I am kind of trying to play quickly here, though, because, again, this is a difficult fight to... If we don't kill them quickly, they're just going to wear us down. I'm going to utilize the call here. We kind of got him pinned into this nice little spot here, away from Theseus. Kind of dodged that spear throw there. Use another call. I should have blocked during the middle of that. All right, so now Theseus... Now we can focus on him, get that cast in there. So, generally, Theseus moveset, he only has 2 moves right now. Spear throw and spear spin. Usually what he'll do is he'll throw his spear at you, walk away for a second or 2. That's usually when you can hit him. You gotta be careful of that spin, though. Get the call out here. That was probably a wasted call, because he was almost at half health already. While he's summoning here, his shield is up in the air. He cannot block you. But as soon as that summon's over, he can. I'm just gonna block that. I was worried that the Aphrodite would come and hunt us down. There's a lot to be said about this fight. It's kind of hard to squeeze it all into what's happening there.
That's one champion unseated. The good stuff.
There's a lot going on in there.
That shade there. Have I got a fan?
So Theseus will always summon a god that you have not taken for the run. So you can kind of know about that. Each different god there will have a different pattern. Ross, thanks for the Twitch Prime, buddy. Each god will have a different pattern. You can kind of get to know that stuff if you want, but it's not... you just got to kind of work in the moment, I think. And just kind of realize it. You could pause quickly and just say, watch that Aphrodite pattern. What happens is they summon circles around you, which means you actually want to stand still while that's happening. Artemis, like, covers the whole center of the room, and there's lots of stuff. Yeah, just stay out of the circles. Hide behind those pillars a lot, things like that. We're keeping on the tooth.
Any boons worth giving up?
It's worth considering selling Breaking Wave here. One big thing is that it does all next to nothing versus the bosses. I think I would, if I was watching a new player do this run and I was trying to help them, I would tell them to sell it. That's what I'm thinking, and that's why I'm going to sell it here, I think. That's a lot of gold, right? This is all wasted. These 6 encounters, these would get worn out in the 6 small rooms leading up to a big chamber in Styx. The small rooms still count, so that's why this is all wasted.
One last stop. Got it.
Theseus's throw has an easy opening, but what's the best time to attack when he spins? Good question. I'm not sure. If you're playing melee, Theseus is going to be difficult. You kind of just got to save your dash for when you know he's attacking. So you don't want to be dashing around like crazy trying to get these attacks in. You'd probably want to get in there, start swinging, wait to see what move he's going to telegraph, dash away. Either way. Either dash behind an object, one of the pillars, to block the spear, or to get away from the spear spin. You always take down the Minotaur first. I recommend it, yes.
Blood's on offer here.
Huh. Checking out the shop. Getting to know what's in here. The big palm, not that great here, probably. You never really want an anvil if you're just trying to win. Unless you really, really hate both of your hammer upgrades. But even then, there's like a lot of bad hammer upgrades that could possibly just ruin your run. We're gonna leave those there for now, because we'll be okay in the meantime.
Which tunnel?
Okay, so the tunnels are pretty much always the same setup. You have 2 random mini-boss rooms, like this. And there's a few variations on what mini-boss rooms you can have. And then you'll have 3 smaller chambers. I actually do legitimately consider the mini-bosses to be easier than the regular rooms. The regular rooms are long, there's traps, there's poison, there's a lot of stuff going on in them. I recommend taking the mini-boss rooms first, even if you don't necessarily want those rewards. For instance, Athena's... We could go to see Athena to try to get her legendary boon, but I'd almost rather take these 2 first, and hopefully we don't get them. Tiny Vermin. So Tiny Vermin's scary, but you do just deal with those chances, I think. I think we take the health first here.
Let's see what's in here.
Because it'll increase our health pool for in case we have to take more than 2 paths here. So there's 5 paths in sticks, right? 5 paths? This is how what we call sack RNG works. Best that I know. You cannot get the sack on the first path. It is impossible. You can only... The earliest you can get it is the second path. And if you don't get it on the second path, then you have an increased chance of getting on the third. If you still don't get it, you have an increased chance of getting on the fourth. And on the fifth, you're guaranteed to see it. So you're least likely to get it on the final path.
One of those especially gigantic vermin.
So I'm going to utilize... So these red gashes on the floor mark where the axes will fall. So I'm trying to keep an eye on my positioning here. Watch out for these red gashes, basically. The rat's trying to come and chop me. Now he's going to spread poison all over the floor. And always just get to know where the wells are. They can actually... The well positions can actually change a little bit per run. So this is sort of a safe spot. There's no traps over here or anything. Okay, I almost got hit by that one, though. Enemies can walk over these trap pressure plates to trigger them also. All right, so once the main enemy is dead, nothing else will spawn. So now I can take out the small enemies. And that's pretty much it for these rooms, I think. Just get to know where the wells are. If you want to, when you first enter the room, just pause. Find the wells right away, basically. That's a tight room, so it's kind of scary.
I'm back.
All right, so we're going to take the second mini-boss room, too.
Should check this way.
I hate this mini-boss. It has so much health. Yes. I think that's the highest health one. Maybe the snake stone is higher. Why didn't I use the traps hit the rat, too? That's a nice strategy to have, but I don't know if it's worth trying to really go out of your way to accomplish. I feel like it's more dangerous than anything when I could just be sitting back and blocking to the best of my ability. So these satyrs, they don't deal a lot of damage, but they poison you. So again, this is another room where just know where those red gashes are on the floor to avoid the axe trap and know where the well is. Always try for max HP first so the fountain heals for more because it's percent of max HP. Yes, good point, Butta. So that's the sack. We got it on the second path, which is the ultimate luck.
I don't often divulge such blessings as I am about to, Zagreus.
All right, so Nurse Soul does nothing. We are at full health. Bonus restoration. I'm pretty sure Did we take quick recovery? I am iffy if Nurse Soul affects quick recovery. But at the same time, the other two boons don't really do a whole lot for us either. So, I don't know. I'm skeptical. I feel like I just take Snowburst, and it doesn't really do anything either way for us. Basically. Strongest weapon to use? Eris Rail, probably. Yeah. This choice is just not meaningful. So the only thing that would ever really do anything is probably Snowburst. Special to slow Hades, special chill to slow Hades. That's worth thinking about. I feel like throwing out my special is more dangerous than it's worth. Yeah, we don't have privilege status.
Woke me up.
Nourish to sell if I was doing more rooms. So this is actually a secret thing. You cannot sell Nourish Soul. There's a few boons out there you are not allowed to sell, and Nourish Soul is one of them, unfortunately. So Nourish Soul is a pretty mediocre boon. I missed the lore. I'm sorry. Here, I'll get this one.
The vast temple of Styx.
I skipped it. I'm sorry. I think we take Dionysus here. There's not much else from Demeter that she can give us, but Dionysus still has a couple things that would be okay. And then we probably buy the Palm. That would put us up to 450. Then we buy the Health.
Should come in useful.
We probably take Positive Outlook. Because the effect is immediate on Nurse Soul? Yes, I guess so. You also can't sell Rare Crop. You can't sell Premium Vintage. Those are a few boons. Bad Influence. It looks like a nice damage increase, but it's kind of, yeah. We're only applying Hangover using the Call. So, and we're about to go into the Hades fight. Yeah, minions die too quickly. There's not usually a plethora of enemies, so we can get 3 with Hangover on them at once. It's just not worth. This boon is often not worth it, I think. So we just take Positive Outlook. We still don't want Trippy Shot for the same reasons already stated. I probably should have bought the Palm first here, so that's a mistake. Tally a mistake. Because I don't want to really upgrade Positive Outlook here.
Here's the fee.
Couple interesting choices here. Maybe that's not that crazy. If you should full clear Styx for more power before Dad. The only reason I'd recommend that is if you're missing Death Defiances and Athena's there, you're trying to farm gold for the big shop item and Styx here. That's about it, maybe? I mean, just remember, after you take the fountain with the sack, you're not going to see the fountain again. So you're not going to get that big health restore again. So the majority of the time, I'd recommend not taking extra chambers there. Unless it's just for fun or something like that. I don't know what Razor Shoals does against bosses that much. Possibly nothing. I feel like it's still the call. It's probably just the call. Positive Outlook, 8% more damage reduction, but only when I'm below 40% health. I think we'll be okay. We'll be okay. Why am I hating Positive Outlook? I don't hate it. 10% damage reduction when I'm below 40%. It's okay. I guess I felt like, given the run, and given where I don't think we've dropped below 90% health the entire run, it's kind of like, do I need it? You know? Or do I just need more damage, clear things faster, and stuff like that? Great for new guys starting for Dad? That's a good point. It's not a terrible choice here. I'm thinking okay, so I should put myself in the perspective of if I was helping a new player through this and I wasn't the one playing, what would I recommend? It might be Positive Outlook. I recommend using Dionysus's Call on cooldown. Best offense is more offense. So, yeah, so again, Hades is a game that wants to be played quickly, I think. Killing enemies quicker, killing bosses quicker is important.
Palmed out.
Yeah, I think it's pretty meaningful to
Chiron,
up our damage by
Second
that
reassuring
much.
sight, I thought I'd offer you a token of my gratitude. Wait, you don't have to give me something in return. It was a gift.
Yeah,
Though
one way of looking
you're
at it
insisting,
is
aren't you?
Hades' big spin attack. I think it deals 40 damage normally. So 8% more damage reduction only when I'm below 40% health is what is that? What is that block? 5? Blocks 5? 5 damage? I don't know. Thanks, Karen. 3? Okay. You guys do math better than me. Hey, I got a keepsake. Alright, now we go fight Dad. Yeah, again, I would not recommend doing extra chambers most of the time.
Satan markings.
Because you're probably going to lose some health, and you're probably not going to get it back. Is there any good reliable way to get the Charon fight? Nah, it's 100% random. Could get him offered in Tartarus, could get him offered in Elysium, could get it not offered at all.
See you, boy.
New players need to survive the Hades fight long enough to get comfortable with it. That's a good point, Sleepy God. Because I think no one's gonna beat the Hades fight first time. If you are, then I bow down to
You're
you.
not going to stop me.
But if you're going in blind, you've never seen the fight before, you don't know what's
seem
gonna
to see
happen.
The sun itself. You know only the light of Elysium, but the
You're not
sun
gonna win the first time. I didn't win the first
is
time.
positively blinding. Hideous.
You have to get to know the attack patterns for all the bosses, but especially Hades. You know, you want to go into that Hades fight as healthy as possible, meaning highest health, most death defiances, best you can do. This is my only Overexplain run for the night.
Time now that you mention it. I didn't know
Reem won the first time.
It hasn't always, but that's of no consequence to us. Especially when there's a raging battle to be fought.
All right, so again, the strategy is just get that cast at him, try to keep it inside. We're going to use this pillar in the middle right a lot to kind of space Dad out, keep him away from us. I'll try to explain the moveset best I can as we go. So we're just going to get that out there. So Dad can disappear. You don't know where he's going to come from. I'm just waiting for him to appear so I can dash away. And we're just going to kind of do this. This is going to be most of the fight. I'm going to kill this if I have the opportunity. If I don't, I'm just going to kind of keep away from it and try to dash over the AoE attack. So yeah, you really got to save those dashes for right before he's going to attack if you're in melee range. Otherwise, you can probably just keep far away and do this slowly. I do have the call up. I kind of got in there for some extra damage while I could. He slowed a little bit because of snow burst there. Calls back up. That was kind of wasted just because he was about to be at 1/3 less health and thus summoning all his enemies here. Again, these pillars are super important to try to avoid attacks. I gotta be mindful that Dad could pop out any second now. So he has a spear spin like that, which is usually one of the scarier moves. He also has a spear thrust, which isn't super scary like that. It's pretty well telegraphed. You can reflect these stones that he throws at you. If you get lodged with the bloodstone, then you will take double damage while it's on you. So you should try to run away until that bloodstone falls off you. There's a little icon that appears above your health bar to indicate it. There's also another visual notification. The edges of your screen kind of turn into glass. You can see footsteps in the snow approaching as he gets near you when he's invisible like that. I could just stand here and block, and then as soon as he attacks, unleash the charge shot. That's another method that we could be doing this. Because I'm a little more confident, I'm okay with just kind of throwing these out there. Even if you deflect one of those stones that he throws at you, you do have to still kill it because it'll still just drop to the ground. So this is one of the reasons why I think the shield is so powerful, because I can just sit here and block, unleash an attack after I'm done blocking. Even if we didn't have charge shot, this method would still work. I could just bull rush through him, and then just run away, basically, right afterwards. So for these moves, you can space him out. For when he changes phases, though, it's going to be different.
Let's finish this then.
So I'm going to try to get this cast inside while he does that. You have to jump over that move. It's difficult. The only advice I can give you for avoiding that move, because it's difficult to avoid, is to make sure you do not dash attack at the end of your dashes when jumping over it. Don't do any moves when you're trying to dash over it. Just only dash and wait a very long time. So these lasers, there's some different text for it. You can hide behind a pillar like this. I believe you can block the laser with the shield, but it's kind of risky. It's a little wonky. Ooh, I took the hit. I thought I had blocked long enough, but I didn't. But he can also stand right on top of Dad when he does it. Even when he does the full round of lasers in his last phase here. I'll try to show you if he does it. It's okay, we got plenty of health, obviously. So he'll do those dashes around the room. When you see him do those dashes, there we go. So you can just stand right on top of him. It's not like super easy. It's probably not worth it most of the time as a new player. But yeah, when he starts dashing around the room, he's gonna end that. He's gonna end that move with a spin.
I told you that I would, Father.
Grip no hit. Yep.
Wait, just if you
Okay, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler
I
alert.
know you're.
Persephone.
I shall remember this.
That's the 80s fight. Not too bad. I would say phase 1 is generally harder than phase 2. 40-minute run, boys. That was just with starting shield. I had no aspect on. Or rather, I had no Titan's blood spent. And things like that. Probably, obviously, the attack was super important. The call was really important. But I think both hammers were very important. Short footing didn't come into play, really. Frozen touch did a little something. Quick recovery. Most of our defensive boons didn't end up doing a lot for us by the end of the run, it looks. Exposed might have done some work. Snowburst did a tiny bit. Razor Trolls did something. Brilliant Riposte probably did a decent amount of damage if we could actually see the numbers. And the dash was pretty important. Overall, I think. Does he not summon Pos with no heat? I do believe he does normally summon green urns. We just didn't get him. He just didn't use that move, oddly. For that run.
Hey, while you're still here, why don't you head on over to the stream and check out what's going on there. www.dampdad.com. Come on over and let's all have some fun.